What if I told you that a gaming laptop could deliver desktop-class performance for under $1,000? That's not a hypothetical. It's the reality of the Acer Nitro V15, the ANV 15-52-73D8, packing an Intel Core i7-13620H, NVIDIA RTX 5060, 16 gigabytes of RAM, and a 1 terabyte SSD into a sleek 15.6-inch chassis. But does it live up to the hype, or is it just another overhyped budget machine? Let's break it down inside and out. Gamers and creators today face a brutal paradox. They need raw power for modern titles and creative workloads, but they also need portability and affordability. High-end GPUs like the RTX 4070 or 4080 are stunning, but they often come with six-figure price tags and hefty cooling systems that turn laptops into portable heaters. Meanwhile, budget options either skimp on performance or sacrifice display quality and build integrity. The Acer Nitro V 15 steps into this gap, promising flagship-level specs without the flagship price. But can it deliver where it counts? Right out of the box, the Nitro V15 makes a strong first impression. The chassis is predominantly black plastic with bold red accents along the keyboard deck and lid, giving it that unmistakable gaming aesthetic. It's not ultra-premium. This isn't a MacBook Pro or a Razer Blade, but it's sturdy enough for daily use and travel. The lid has a subtle brushed texture that resists fingerprints, and the hinge is smooth, opening to a generous 130-degree angle. At 4.4 pounds and 0.9 inches thick, it's heavier than Ultrabooks, but lighter than most 17-inch gaming rigs, making it a solid middle ground. The display is a standout. The 15.6-inch FHD IPS panel delivers 1920 by 1080 resolution with a 165 Hz refresh rate and 300 nits of brightness. Colors are vibrant, with 100% sRGB coverage and decent contrast, though don't expect HDR-level depth. The viewing angles are excellent, and motion clarity is crisp thanks to the high refresh rate, perfect for fast-paced shooters like Or. The bezels are thin, giving it a modern look, and the anti-glare coating cuts down on reflections in bright rooms. Under the hood, the i7-13620H is a beast for the price. This 10-core, 16-thread processor from Intel's Raptor Lake H series clocks up to 4.9 GHz on turbo, making it ideal for multitasking, video editing, and even light 3D rendering. It's paired with 16 gigabytes of DDR4 RAM running at 3,200 MHz, which is standard for mid-range gaming laptops, but sufficient for most workloads. The 1 terabyte PCIe Gen 4 NVMe SSD boots Windows 11 in under 10 seconds and offers fast load times in games and applications. While 16 gigabytes isn't future-proof for heavy workloads, it's more than enough for gaming and everyday use. The real star here is the NVIDIA GeForce RTX 5060 laptop GPU. With 8 gigabytes of GDDR6 memory and support for DLSS 3 and ray tracing, it's capable of running modern titles at high settings at 1080p. With DLSS set to quality mode, you can expect 60 to 70 FPS at 1080p high settings. It easily clears 144 plus FPS on competitive settings. Even demanding titles like run smoothly at medium settings with ray tracing enabled. The RTX 5060 isn't a 4070, but it's a massive step up from GTX 16 series or RTX 3050 laptops, and it holds its own in esports and AAA games alike. Cooling is handled by a dual-fan system with Acer's Cool Boost technology, which ramps up fan speed under load. During extended gaming sessions, the laptop stays warm, but not uncomfortably hot. The fans are audible, especially under heavy load, but not obnoxiously so, certainly not as loud as some budget competitors. The keyboard is backlit with red LEDs, offering 4 brightness levels and decent key travel. The keys themselves are responsive, though not as premium as mechanical switches. The touchpad is large and smooth, supporting Windows precision gestures, and the webcam is 720p, adequate for video calls but nothing special. Let's talk real-world performance. I ran a series of benchmarks and real-world tests. In Cinebench R23, the i7-13620H scored around 11,500 in multi-core and 1,700 in single-core. Impressive for a mid-range laptop. In 3D Mark Time Spy, the RTX 5060 scored about 8,200, placing it between an RTX 3060 and RTX 4060 in raw performance. It averaged 85 FPS at 1080p high settings. It hit 240 plus FPS consistently. Battery life is modest, around 4 to 5 hours for light use like web browsing or document editing. But that's expected for a gaming laptop. For gaming, expect 2 to 3 hours of battery life under load. What does it fall short? The 16 gigabytes RAM is soldered, so upgrading isn't an option. Future-proofing takes a hit here. The SSD is also soldered, though the 1 terabyte capacity is generous. The speakers are tinny and lack bass, and the webcam is grainy. Build quality is good, but not premium, and the plastic chassis feels less refined than aluminum alternatives. Also, the RTX 5060 is a mid-range GPU. It's not going to max out at 4K, but it's perfect for 1080p high-refresh gaming. How does it stack up against the competition? Against the Lenovo Legion 5, which often features an RTX 4060, the Nitro V15 is slightly behind in GPU performance, but ahead in CPU and price. The ASUS TUF Gaming A15 offers similar specs, but with an AMD Ryzen 7 processor, which excels in productivity but lags in single-core performance for gaming. The HP Omen 15 is sleeker and has better build quality, but it's more expensive and often lacks the RTX 5060 option. In short, the Nitro V15 offers the best value per dollar in its class, especially for gamers who prioritize raw performance over ultra-portability. So who is this laptop for? If you're a gamer who wants to play modern titles at high settings without breaking the bank, or a creator who needs a powerful machine for video editing and 3D work, the Acer Nitro V15 is a fantastic choice. It's not for those who demand ultra-thin designs, premium build materials, or silent operation, but for the price, typically around $900 to $1,100 depending on sales, it delivers an unbeatable combination of power, display quality, and value. If you're ready to step up your gaming or creative workflow without emptying your wallet, the Acer Nitro V15 ANV 15-52-73D8 is the laptop to buy. Click the link in the description, check current pricing, and grab it while it's on sale. Trust me, your future self will thank you when you're dominating in or rendering your next video project without a hitch.